Everyone to the Auckland Power Platform User Group. Today we have Sriram Balaji, and you can hopefully you can see my screen. So myself and Jiva, who is actually leading this Auckland Power Platform User Group currently, and we have good success in the past. And I think Jiva joined Velrada recently. Is currently in Chennai. So the agenda is quite simple. So area of focus is possibly almost Power Platform plus Copilot. So they rebranded Power Virtual Agent. So I need to update the slide, but the overall idea is, Copilot is now taking place everywhere. So this is a nice opportunity to learn what Copilot can actually help us and how you can build agents. There are so many cool stuffs. I think Sriram Balaji has done enormous amount of videos so far, some good sessions. I think probably 14 plus series covering different Copilot thing. So I think this session will be really useful. Like he'll be covering some of the cool topics, like what you can do and how you can actually take this to your enterprise thing. So just a very quick thing. I think this format, which you guys are already muted, I believe, so we don't have full control, but still good. The slide deck by Sriram will be shared upon consent, and also any feedback, anything you guys want to change, yes, feel free to get in touch with me or Jiva. Yeah, again, there are other groups in Auckland. I can share this link shortly through the chat. So the star of the show today is Sriram Balaji. So he's a Microsoft MVP, and he's also a technical director at Curve Digital. And he worked in various Power Platform solutions in the past, and also worked for a Microsoft consultant. I will hand over to Balaji now. Thanks, Balaji.
Thanks, Ravan. Thanks, Jiva. Thanks for the opportunity to present this event. Appreciate that. Just I'll go ahead and share the screen. Let me know if you can see the screen. Let me. Can you see the presentation, or no? Like I can stop and I share it again. Share. Second, yeah. Raghavan, can you see the screen? The presentation?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. In this session, I'm just covering how to build a Copilot for your needs, typically for your industry or your department, and also be covering how to create a Copilot template that you can reuse, in your projects. Let's move on. Okay. Just a brief introduction of about myself. I'm a business applications MVP. I got the status in July of this year. So I'm working as a director at Curve Digital. I worked with Microsoft technologies for the past 25 years and around 12 years in Dynamics CRM, starting from 2011 all the way to 365 Power Platform. So I have a newsletter, a website. Here are the links to LinkedIn, YouTube, and GitHub. I mean, feel free to connect with me, and then yeah, that'll be good. So let's get started. The agenda for today is just we'll just have a brief introduction, and then we'll just jump into the demo. The first I'll focus on the department demo. This will be how to raise a request, travel request as part of the travel department. And the next I'll be covering is the a Copilot for the auto industry. Then finally, I'll show you how we can create a Copilot Studio template. So I'll be taking questions in the end. Yeah. So yeah. So what is a Copilot? I know that things have changed now. That it's called a Copilot agent. So yeah, just bear that in mind. Now everything is called agent now. So yeah. So Copilot is basically a assistant to assist human. It uses generative AI, so it assists human, to complete complex cognitive tasks. So you use actually, chat it using natural language, and it'll respond back. So this definitely is changing a bit. When it's the agent, it's more than assist humans. It can also work on behalf of you. That they announced a couple of days back about autonomous agents. Yeah, just bear that in mind. So that definition has expanded, not just only to assist humans, but can also work on behalf of you for other tasks. So yeah. So what is Microsoft Copilot Studio? So Microsoft Copilot Studio is a SaaS product which actually helps you to build your own copilots, or also helps you to extend the existing copilots like a Microsoft 365 Copilot or the other, the first party copilots. So in this session, we'll be covering how to build copilots, for your specific industry and departments. That's the focus of this session. So let's jump to the Copilot for Travel department demo. I'll just switch. So here the travel request Copilot, I've already created this. I'll just go through a demo and then we'll go about creating it from scratch. So I'll say, let's start with travel request. I'll just say that. Few seconds. Yeah. So I'll say now. Its name. I'll say New York. Starting from New York. Then destination city. I'll say Seattle. So start date 12 November 24. Date I'll just come back on 19 November. So what is the reason? I'll say it is business travel. So it'll ask the Copilot will come back and just give me whatever I've entered just to confirm the details correct. I'll just go ahead and say yes. So now it will go ahead and create this record, in the travel request table. I'll be showing you that. I'll go here, just refresh it. There you go. Yeah. So this is the record. So here we are using the travel request Copilot to use that, create the travel request. The other thing I wanted to ask is, because since I'm in Seattle, let's say I say, give me three fun places to visit on a weekend in Seattle. So this gives me this three places. This is actually using a generative AI capability to come back with the answer for that. So this is basically a demo. I'll just switch back to how we can create it. The first thing I just want to show you is this is the new feature. I mean, solutions were not earlier there. So we had to go to Power Apps and create a solution for it. So this is the recommended way. By default, when you create a Copilot, it will put it in a default solution. I'll be showing you in a second. So the first thing is we need to create a new solution for our Copilot so that we can actually move it across environment. That's the best practice, like ALM practices we follow. Like in for any other components in Power Platform, we'll make it this as a part of a solution. So second, it's a little slow sometimes. Okay. Okay, I'll just create a new solution. I'll call it travel requests demo. I'll select the publisher and then just say create. So it has created the solution. Now what I'll do, I'll go ahead and create a table. In here, I'm also taking the use of the Power Apps the table Copilot, the new data experience for it. So I'll say go create new table. I'll say tables here. Okay. Me just take a second. So we are actually going to Power Apps. So I'm creating the table for this demo. So I'll just go there. I'll say start with Copilot. I'll just say I just need one table. I don't want multiple tables. So I'll choose that option. I'll just be pasting the prompt. All I'm saying is create a table called travel request demo. These are the fields I need: traveler name, origin city, of string data type, destination city, a string, travel start date, travel end date, and reason. So I'll just click on generate. So here I'm using the Power Apps, Copilot, the new data experience for creating the table for me. That I'll be this table I'll be using within the Copilot. So it has gone ahead and created the table. So if I go here and say view data, I can see the thing here. Okay. So let me exit. So this is going to save us. So when it's doing that, I'll now switch back. Now I have the table. I'll just go ahead and create a new Copilot. So I come back here. It's a second, give it a second to load. Yeah, I'll say new Copilot. So here we have kind of this is a Copilot to create a Copilot. I'll say I'm here to build, help build a Copilot. How will you, Copilot assist users? I can do using a chat interface, or I have an option to say skip to configure. So I'll use that. I'll just call this the name as travel request demo. That is the name of that. And I'll just give the description. So allow users to raise travel requests and answers to common questions. And the instructions, I'll also add a few instructions for the Copilot. This acts like a more like a meta prompt or a system prompt if you use ChatGPT for the whole Copilot. So this is going to, give the scope of the Copilot. So it'll answer only those questions. You can also say, do not answer any other questions other than travel returns. You can also do that. But for now, I'm not doing it. And one more thing I just wanted to add was, I'll say add knowledge. I'll be adding one of the websites here, the public websites. I'll just get that. So this is how it's answering the questions. I'll add a public website here. I say US travel website. Click on add. So that's that. I mean, it's optional if you want to add knowledge. In this case, I'm adding knowledge for it. But if you don't have, have to have this data, then you can directly only want to, create travel because you don't want any other knowledge. You don't need to add. You can also add any policy documents like I'll not be showing that anyway. I don't have that. But just keep in mind, you can also add any travel policy you have, in your company, then in a travel department that also you can add. So it can, people, when they raise a request, they can ask what is the company policy about the travel, and then they can go ahead and raise a request. So one important thing here is I'll go to advanced settings. So here I'll choose the solution here, what we had created earlier. Yeah. So I'm not actually, yeah. So here I'm not published it, but that's why it's not showing. For now, it's fine. But the thing is, what we need to do is you can actually choose the solution, whatever you created, and choose that. So that will do it. And the other way we can do it here is, I think I directly I could have done from Copilots from here and then create a new Copilot from here, then it would have added directly to that solution. So yeah, so but I'll just keep it this way. I'll not create it. I'll just I'll just say demo. Yeah, so this is demo one, and then save it. Let me see whether because I published it, let me see whether I can get that solution in a second. If not, we'll just use the existing one and then move on. Yeah, I think for now, I just choose that. Just say save, and then I'll just create it. But mind you, better you have that own solution. What I created, that's better that you do that. Use that solution, that already created solution. Yeah, it's going to take a few seconds. Now, what you can do is I can create a new topic here. Let me just give a second to load. Yeah, so it has a few default topics. So I'm going to actually add a new topic for it. Let me do that. So I'll say add a topic. You have two options. You start from blank, or you can give a description for a topic, and then it will create that for you. So I'll be using that functionality. This is also uses like Copilot in the backend. So I'll say travel request and then create a topic. I'll say let a user create a travel request, accept traveler's name, origin city, destination city, travel start date, end date, and the reason, right? So I can hit create. So if you see, it has added all these questions. What's a traveler's name, origin city, destination city, travel start date, travel end date, and the reason for travel, everything it has added. I'll just save this. For the sake of time, I'll just switch over to the existing one. A few more things we need to add. So I'll just quickly switch over and just walk through that instead of adding those to the flow. I'll open the existing topic I created earlier, it's travel request. Okay. So a couple of things I need to add other than because now it has created all the questions for me. So what I need to do is I just need to summarize what was captured. So I'm using a message, a note, and then I'm just using variables to actually capture this. What is the traveler's name, origin city, and so on and so forth, right? And then I'll actually have to confirm with the user whether the details are correct. So I have a condition here which checks whether the details are correct. If that is the case, we'll call it connector action. So connector action here, an action is like you can think of more like an action, and if you work in Power Automate is an action in Power Automate, like you can directly call Dataverse. You can add a row in Dataverse. I'm using that action. So it asks for the environment. I'm just the environment and what's a table name. And here we have to map the variables whatever you have collected here. Here if you see reason for travel, all that it's been stored in these variables. That I'll map it to the action, right? So once I do that, and then this will create it. So after it's created, I'll just give the message back saying that the travel request has been created. So this is the flow. How you can create a travel request. The thing is, here it is used whenever you say travel request, it will actually trigger this topic. How will it know to trigger? The thing is, there are phrases here. Based on that, it will actually trigger this topic. So, but there are other ways to do it also. Now, what we can do is, I'll not be covering that, but just if you make it generative actions kind of a thing, then you can just create. You don't need to have a topic. If you want to directly call an API or something like that, directly you can do that. So that you don't need there's no need for you to call an action within a topic. So bear that in mind. So in a nutshell, the thing is what we did, we created a travel request Copilot. So the user actually can create a travel request, and you can also ask any questions regarding any general knowledge about the any of the, I mean, I didn't show the visa requirements also. You can also show if you're traveling from India or any other country to US, what are the visa requirements and stuff like that. So let's say what are the documents needed for a US B1 visa. So you can answer that also. So this is just a this is based on the URL we gave in the beginning, right? So you can answer that also. So it gives you the documents and also gives you the the links for it. So the thing here is, I mean, because typically one thing you have to make sure, like when you create a Copilot, when it gets the knowledge, one thing you tell the users is the age-related content may be wrong. You have to go to the actual references and go back there and just check it. In that way, they're used to it. So there's a summary of it, but if it's some important information, it's better they go and click the links and go to the original document or a website and then check that there. So yeah, I think that's one thing just want to point out. So yeah, I think that's it for the travel request. Any questions regarding this?
think, Sriram, my apologies. I think the Teams is not
Oh,
letting me to
okay, that's fine.
enable
No,
the the mics for audience and
no problem. That's fine. We can take it in the end. I'll just just wanted to
yeah,
jump
I
back
think there
to
is
the
a
next.
question from Nathan. Are the actions sync or async?
So the thing is, it uses the Nathan, and it uses the when you give the type that what it does. There's an orchestrator which actually calls it right away. It'll actually map it. This has to be called an action. So the orchestrator will figure out this action based on the description you're given for the action and the inputs. So if it finds a match, then it'll call this right away. Yeah, it's synchronous. Yeah.
Synchronous. Okay.
So I'll switch back to the next one. Okay.
So the solution concept is recently introduced, is it?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So everything has to be in solutions. Yeah. Yeah. That's the
Okay.
thing. Now they introduced that. Yeah.
I see.
So the next one, I just want to jump to the auto retail one. This is for the auto retail industry. I mean, for it's typically for dealers. Let's say you have a dealer like a Hyundai dealer here, right? So I want to actually book a test drive. So I'll I can use this for scheduling a test drive, right? So let me say schedule a test drive. Number, it asks for the license plate number. What's the make? I'll say Hyundai. What's model? i10. And when would you request that? I'll say 12th December 2024 at 11:30 a.m. An address, let's say, and phone number, I'll just give whatever. Fine. So similar to the other Copilot, it's ask you, to confirm whatever you entered. So if you're happy with that, I'll click yes. So then it will go ahead and create this test drive record, right? So the test drive has been created. So if I switch back this, yeah. So you see, there was no record for me, and then I'll just refresh it. Yeah, here you can see this record. Okay, so What I'll do, I'll go back here. I'll create another solution. We see, say, auto retail demo. Quickly do that. Just hit create. Create a new table. Like I did before, I'll be using the Power Apps Copilot for it. We do that. Second. Okay, I'll start with Copilot. I'll just give the this one. I'll just say just one table. You create one table for me. I hit generate. So it's going and create the table. Okay, and then I just look at the data, what it has created. So it has all that. And I'll just say save and exit. If I can still save the table. Well, I'll go here. This I'm saving it. Let me go back. Go here. So it's created the table. Now I'll actually publish. Try to create a Copilot from here itself. Let's see. Yeah, it's taking a while. I mean, I
In the
wanted.
meanwhile, I think we got a one question from Lynn. So during
Yeah,
the last step of information confirmation, if there
yeah,
is anything that the user would like to change, can the bot be designed in a way to accept the change in natural language like this? Oh, the email is incorrect. Can you read the question as well? Can you see the Q&A section, Balaji?
yeah. I'll check. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
one second. Sure.
Hope you are aware of Lynn. So Lynn recently joined Delta Insights as a Copilot manager. So I think,
Okay.
yeah,
Helen, yeah, I think that we can do that. If they wanted to change, you can actually, because there is that yes and no that, right? In the no part, what you can do is either, uh, what you can do is you can ask the questions again. You can do that. You can either redirect to the same topic or, ask the question again, whatnot. So yeah, that is possible. Yeah.
thank you.
So let's go back and yeah. So let me add a Copilot. Copilot here. Just skip here. Say Copilot or say called auto retail or whatever. Yeah. demo because it's already there. Just put it, just call demo and instructions to scale to detailer, and we also have to can give a, use a professional tone. You can just give that as instruction. And then if you want, you can just add a site here. I have the site. I mean, if one of the dealers you are, this is one of you're creating for one of the dealers, I can just put, let's say, for example, this for one of the Hyundai dealers. I'm creating this test drive. So I can just give that. You can say, hey, dealer kind of a thing. That's optional. I mean, in this case, I'm just giving that so that you can get any other information from that website. Okay. So I'll just go ahead and create. Yeah. Now let me create a topic for it. I'll use, sorry. So create a description. I'll just skip this. I say let a user create a test drive. Test drive demo topic. So accept a name, registration number, make, model, test drive date time, date time, and then all this I give. Just say create. So this is going to add these questions for me, create a topic and ask these questions. So I'm just going to save this and I'm just going to switch back for sake of time. I'm going to go back to the other existing one so that I don't. Just go leave here. I'll just show what other things we need to add. It's very similar to what we did for travel request one. We just need to make sure, the whatever they've entered is correct. I'm just opening this test drive topic, this existing one. So I'm just checking whether first I'm going to show a message just to confirm, like we did it earlier in the travel request, and then I just check with the user, is everything okay? And then I'll go ahead and create call the connector action. So only difference here is this is a different table. There it was the other table. Now it's the test drive table. There it was a travel request table. So that's pretty much. So and then once you're done, you just say it's been created. So if you have any questions regarding, based on the dealer website, they can also ask, ask those questions. For now, I'll not be asking, but what they can do is, what are the different cars I can test drive? If I say, if we did, let's say what it comes back, because you're so here, yeah, that's it's still not, yeah, forget about that. So it's not configured properly, yeah. So basically, you can do that also. You can also ask questions regarding the knowledge you have. So yeah. So I think that's it with the second demo. So what I'll do is, for the sake of time, I'll quickly switch to the presentation because I can't give a demo. I have screenshots for the third one. The next thing I'll be covering is the how to create your own template, the corporate industry template. So I'll be covering that. Let me switch here. Okay, a second. So in this instance, the thing is what we did, we created a solution for our Copilot. It'll actually help us a lot now because that same solution will be used to create your Copilot Studio template. I mean, this is still in preview. So bear that in mind. So things sometimes may not work and stuff like that, but it's more like FYI. Yeah. So the thing is, one thing I just want you to note, in the new Copilot Studio solution interface, you don't get publish to catalog. So this functionality is available in the from Power Apps, but this functionality, I think they're still working on this. So this you can't see that functionality available in the uh, Copilot Studio solutions. So if we the same thing, if I go to Power Apps and then click Solutions, I'll get this catalog. Okay, so basically, just want to touch upon, I mean, briefly, what is a catalog? So the catalog is basically, what are the solutions? This is, as of now, it just works for, I mean, you have options for Power Apps, yeah, Canvas apps, flows, and stuff like that. I'll tell you when I get in a second. Because the primary component you can I made it as unspecified, because here, if it's a flow or app, you can just choose that. But since it's still in preview, that functionality is not there. They're working on it, and you have the thing is, catalog is where you store all the reusable stuff, like solutions or stuff like that there. So what you can do, let's say you have you're working with a service company, instead of starting from scratch, there's a project, then you can just have a template, and then that you can jumpstart from there. Like it's very similar to what we have already in the templates that comes out of the box from Copilot Studio, like the safe travels and stuff like that. So it's very you're creating a template for your industry or department. So the two options, one is managed item and template. Template is where you actually, what you're doing is, you're creating, you're giving an unmanaged solution, and it will take a copy of the unmanaged solution, and then that gives it the starting point. Whereas the managed item, it's not like that. It's like another tool. So keep that in mind. So managed item, it doesn't allow any changes for you to do. As a template, you taking that as a starting point, it'll take a copy of it, and you can make any additional changes on top of it. Okay, so I'll go ahead and click next. So it asks for a title, a description, and any business justification why you want to publish to the catalog, which available to the entire company. That is what. And here it works with. This is where because there is no Copilot option here. It has Power Apps, Power Automate, flows, stuff like that. But now we don't have an option. It's still a work in progress. So that's the reason. And you can select business categories. I just select a sales, and whatever publisher you just give that, and who's the author for it. And the next is you have to give some information regarding solution. You can create your give an icon for it. I'm not giving it as of now. And any help link to your tool, so that documentation, people can go and what can do. If you recall, for the existing templates, you have a my Microsoft Learn link there. When you go to Access template, that you can read more about that. It's something similar to that. And if there's any privacy policy or any legal terms, you can just put it there. So I'm not just giving that. I just left it blank. So once you're done with that, I can just review it. If everything is okay, I can submit, or else I can go back and change, and I'll hit submit. Once it's hit submit, it'll actually it'll go to your admin. They have to actually review a submission, and then they have to approve. Only then, once approving, then it will show in your organization's catalog, right? So for that, let's say I'm taking the role of an admin. So what I have to do, I have to go to apps, and then I have to go to an app called Power Platform Catalog Manager. Once I go there, I'll see the request that's been raised. Here it's saying the auto retail template. If I click that, it will take there. So I can go ahead and complete a reject request. I'll say, let's say I want to approve it. I'll say complete approval. So it'll just double check, want to approve, then approval is completed. So once that is done, it will actually, if you go to Power Apps and Catalog, you will see auto retail template here. So that's pretty much it. So if you want to install it, you just click get, and it will install, in our environment. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much done. Yeah, yeah. Any questions now? I can take any questions. Raman, yeah. If I see.
Yeah. Thanks, Sriram. I think was really good to know. Yeah, two things from me. One is, in terms of, I think this is a common thing which everybody wants to know, like when they want to adapt Copilot agent, right? So what is the pricing model? What is the current offering? what Microsoft is doing in this area.
No, the Copilot is more like I think it's 200. I don't know exact license cost. It's more like the number of messages. I think $200 or something like that. They actually charge it for that. It's number of interactions. I don't exactly what it is. Yeah, that's what they charge it for. That's what you need. But it's different from like what Microsoft 365 Copilots. I think that there you have to pay like $30 per month and you get it for a year. This is since you're creating a custom Copilot, so they charge for number of messages you interact with it. So I think it is, I don't know if I remember, it's like $200 or something like that.
I see. So
If I
that
remember, yeah,
so this is for 25,000 messages per time.
thousand, yeah.
And how do they actually allocate to each user, or is it like a tenant-wide?
It's not for each user. It's more for that environment, like for that Copilot people who are using it. It's not for each user. It's not more consumption based, right? Rather than a user based for that environment. Like you hit that limit, and that's the thing. So
I see.
that's how they charge it. More consumption based. Yeah.
Nice. That's good to know. So which means so you can build unlimited Copilot, and then still the
Correct.
number of
Correct.
session is
Correct.
counted. Okay. Cool.
And a couple of things I
Yeah.
want just to add because I've been watching multiple things. So basically, thing is for the college since this is new, right? So basically, thing is whenever you go to a client or something like that, they'll ask what is the ROI, right? So you can say everything, you can be all these cool things, but the main focus is you can build multiple types of Copilots like business to employee, like this HR and IT help desk. Those are the typical use cases, but that may not give you a heavy, you know ROI because yeah, it does save time for the HR department and any internal instead of like IT department instead of get there is there's a lot of requests that will actually deflect it and try to answer most of the questions. But the more the value is for the other use cases like business to consumer. Typical use case will be like a customer support. Like the main thing, one thing to remember is the more you can do like a self-service, you can deflect the questions. That will be a good case. So you can have analytics to check what are the things. It's a more like a continuous process, right? So what are the questions that people are asking? It can answer most of the things, and only the ones which are not answered, it'll deflect. It'll escalate it to the agent. So that is where there's a lot of value. So that the agents will have more time. So that is that. And if you see in the analytics, they're asking some question. There's a lot of things. Some question it is repeated that is getting escalated. We may need to add it to a knowledge base. In that way, we are deflecting those questions. The main thing is try to self-service as much as possible. So that is the crux of it. So that is as for now. It's called agent. It's only used to do that. So the thing is, it's more like an assistant for you, but I think in future, I think in Ignite they'll announce. They already announced autonomous agents. I think there'll be a public preview for it. Just take a look at it. Now the thing is, it's as I said earlier, it has been expanded. The scope initially was only it's like an assistant for you. It will not do a job on behalf of you. It's going to assist you. But now the thing is, the autonomous agents that can actually do that on behalf of any, they already released 10 agents, announced 10 agents for Dynamics 365. So the same Copilot Studio can be also used to, do that, some task, automate those tasks for you. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Yeah.
Thank you. Again, yeah, so we have to deep dive into that part. So another thing which I wanted to ask is, like most of the requests in the enterprise level, they want the ability to add the files on the fly. Like they don't want someone to, build it for you. Like, how the chat GPT works. So you go and attach a file or image and then let the Copilot can answer. So is there something similar kind of feature Microsoft is going to introduce, or is it like still, under progress?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's still not that because the only thing is, yeah. So that is more in those cases, more like consumer facing. It's here. It is more. The thing is the knowledge. See, the thing is if it's enterprise knowledge, right? You want to limit that to only the real relevant sources. because you don't want to, if it's like a consumer facing, then it's like they can upload, this is more like for enterprise scenarios. Let's say I have policy, right? The thing is, I don't want anyone to upload something or anything like that. That should be really controlled. That's what I look at, because it should be like, is there any kind of legal kind of a thing, right? That it's better to comes from authoritative source. If you give in a consumer facing scenarios, it's fine, right? So I just want to summarize the document, blah blah blah. That's fine, right? So that's that use case. This doesn't solve it. But here it's more for the enterprise. It's like it's more it's actually knowledge base kind of a thing. It can answer the questions based on the documents which are vetted, and people actually see what are the stuff there. It's what are accurate information. That's important. Yeah, that function is not there. I mean, they may introduce it later, but I'm not sure. But yeah,
I see. I see.
Raghavan.
Thank you. Yeah, and then one final thing, which is from me. I think Nathan is online, but he can't speak. But one of the thing I saw in Nathan post was with Olympic 33, they were talking about semantic kernel. I don't know, like how and where, what is the use case with the Copilot agent? That people are like hyping, like semantic kernel can do what you can't think, like beyond your imagination. So, do you have any insights on semantic kernel?
I think semantic, I've not worked on semantic, but this is an open source framework. It's something called, initially there's something called LangChain. I think it's very similar to it. It's more like a pro code kind of thing. The thing is, there's also, I think they mentioned AutoGen. I remember seeing that article. AutoGen is another pro code kind of a framework where you can actually build agents. So which do the task for you. But here that is more like a pro code option kind of a thing, right? So, but here it's like a low code option. It's more open source framework. I don't know what will be the support model, because it's from Microsoft Research. The AutoGen, that is the agentic framework from Microsoft. It's more like open source, and my MS Research does it. But I don't know whether it's supported or stuff like that. So that also you have to bear in mind. So that's more like a pro code option. But I would definitely say, I mean, coming from Power Platform, whatever, it's just don't jump into directly to pro code. Whatever you can try to see, can you do in low code or no code using Copilot Studio? Whether if it's not possible or that's the only way, then you can look at that. So I think that's the message you want to give. And there are also options you have to think about when you're using Copilot Studio. The thing is, it uses its default model internally. I think now it's GPT-4, I think 3.5. I think I'm not sure it's updated to 4. Internally, it uses that. But if you want to bring your own model, you can use Azure AI Studio. So you can create your model and get your model from Azure AI Studio and then use it in Copilot Studio. That is another option. So people usually think there are two different products, like Azure AI Studio only for pro code and Copilot Studio is for low code, but you can merge both. The thing is, you can use the Azure AI Studio for building the models and testing the models, and then use that model, within Copilot Studio, and yeah. So just want to point that out also. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, thank you, Sriram. I think really useful session. Again, guys, I apologize again for the teams like make this, some weird things. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining. And I think Sriram is very active on LinkedIn, so I shared his profile link and also some Twitter handles. After the session, this video will be uploaded to the Auckland Power Platform YouTube channel. Also, with Sriram consent, I will also share the slides, whomever has attended.
Sure, I will share it with you, Raghavan. Yeah, shortly.
Yeah. And so feel free to follow Sriram, and then he is very active in releasing videos. I think every week or maybe fortnightly, I believe. Yeah.
Try to, yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
there's a newsletter. You can just subscribe to newsletter. I have that's one way to keep yourself updated, because sometimes you can't read all the articles, stuff like that. A newsletter really helps in the sense it'll just give a summary of it.
Yeah, that's one of the thing. And always, feel free to reach out to Sriram. And thanks again, everyone, for joining. And Sriram, thank you so much for your time this morning. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Raghavan. Thanks, Yuva. Thanks for the opportunity. Yeah, and thanks, everyone. Cheers.
Thanks, guys. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.